Hey everyone, Will the Watch Clicker here, and welcome back to the studio. Today, we're going to be taking a look at Breitling's update to one of the staples in their collection, the SuperOcean 44. Undeniably sporty, yet injected with tons of fun with bright colors, the new SuperOcean models are just in time for summer. The SuperOcean has always been a little quirky. The previous models had extra large numerals and a slanted bracelet. The quirkiness carries over into the new models with one of the more unique handsets I've come across lately. Before we jump in, I want to thank Saltzman's Watches for sending in this watch for review. If you're interested in this watch or another Breitling, contact Jake at Saltzman's. His info will be in the description, and be sure to mention Watch Clicker. Let's get into the video review of the Breitling SuperOcean 44. The Breitling SuperOcean 44 made quite the splash when it was revamped late last year. The dial is much busier, and it's hard to miss that minute hand. Once initial impressions had settled in, most began seeing the watch for the beautiful watch it is. Lots of polishing, the applied logo, large chapter ring, and thin bezel all make for a dive watch that stands out from the crowd, much like the previous SuperOcean. However, this one does it in an entirely different way. The SuperOcean 44 comes in at 44mm wide, 50mm lug to lug, and only 11mm wrist to crystal. This is a big watch for sure, but one that wears its large dimensions on its sleeve. The SuperOcean 44 isn't trying to follow watches like the Pelagos 39. This is designed to stand out, be noticed, and carry a big stick. Even with the large dimensions, I found that it wore well on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. I'd go so far to say that this is the best fitting 44mm watch I've ever tried on. Breitling kept themselves from extending the lug to lug to beyond 50mm, which is what I believe contributes to that feeling. Aiding in that great on-wrist feeling are subtle surprises like the quick micro-adjust built into the clasp and the wonderfully thin case. For a 300-meter dive watch, the case feels more like it would come from a 100-meter field watch. The lugs turn down so sharply as they leave the case that I thought they were going to dig into my wrist. Thankfully, they don't. But it is another factor that contributes to this feeling of, holy cow, I can't believe this watch is 44mm wide. The case has more flourish than previous SuperOcean models, and it looks great from just about any angle. Let's talk about that dial. The bright blue that reminds me of the Caribbean isn't the thing I noticed first on the SuperOcean. That ginormous minute hand eclipses almost everything else on the dial. It looks like Breitling took the seconds hand from a Doxa sub and blew it up. For a watch focused on diving, this makes sense. You want a minute hand to stand out so that you can read the time elapsed by using the bezel. My only gripe about it is that I feel the hands are too short, and I wonder how they would look if they poured over into that chapter ring. Another element on the dial that I love is the lack of a counterbalance on the seconds hand. It's a look I didn't know I liked until I saw it on this watch. The SuperOcean 44 continues to be one of the boldest statements in Swiss dive watches. There's a lot going on with the SuperOcean 44, and most of it is happening on the dial. I have a hard time thinking of another modern dive watch that utilizes a chapter ring in the way the SuperOcean does. I love just about everything on this watch. The fun dial color that works extremely well with the white chapter ring and black bezel, all the way down to that humongous minute hand. The only thing I don't love, even though it fits my wrist, is the diameter. I'd wager that the 42mm SuperOcean would fit the bill nicely, but unfortunately, it doesn't come in this fantastic shade of blue. The fact remains that even though this watch is big, I still love it, and if I were plunking down $5,000 on a summer watch for my days at the beach club, the SuperOcean 44 would be my pick every day of the week. Thanks for checking out the video review of the Breitling SuperOcean 44. For more reviews, head over to watchclicker.com. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe.